Okay, so everybody, this is this fine young man is going to be our drawing subject today. Before we draw him, though, we are going to do our normal 10-minute gesture exercise, meaning you're going to draw 10 1-minute poses. You're going to try and get the whole pose in 1 minute. So I like to I know some of you have seen me do this, but I'm going to do it again. And have you follow along with me as a demonstration for how you draw in 1 minute, right? So as you can see here, I'm not going to draw his facial features. I'm not going to draw his fingers. I'm not going to draw his toes. I'm not going to get into much detail. What I can do in a minute is something we call the gesture. And I wanted to, I'll take a picture of this. So the gesture is really, I like to think of it as like the tent poles of the figure. Oh, and let's do that too. I like to think of the gesture. You'll see that a lot of these lines go through the middle of each of the subjects, like the arms and the legs. So when you're starting with figure, you're going to start with, let me get my pencil here. Actually, I'm going to do it in charcoal so you can see it really, well, I'll do it in pencil because you're working in pencil. You're going to literally start with these lines, kind of trying to see. So you can go ahead and do it with me. And I'm not so worried about whether this is proportionally correct or not. In a 1 minute drawing, you don't really have time for that. What you really have time to do is show how the figure kind of traverses gravity. How does the figure kind of, deal with gravity? So already with these lines, I have a sense of that, right? You can tell this is a sitting figure. You can tell he's kind of leaning on one arm just by getting in the gesture. And then everything about the body is really like circles and cylinders. So we've got the circle, kind of the egg-shaped circle for his head. The neck is, a cylinder, really just two straight lines and these little ovals on either side. And then if you remember, we use circles for all the joints, the major joints. So the shoulders, the elbow, the wrist, right? That's all here, here, and here. So that helps us like kind of quickly fill in what's happening here. We've got this kind of tin can that is his torso. Right? It's really a tin can, although maybe there's like two. So it's interesting how you construct this, right? With these very simple shapes. And then there's the knee, the hip, and the ankle. And then back here, the ankle is here, the knee, the knee is here, the ankle is here, hip is here. And then I can kind of, if I have time, right, I can connect those. And notice that like I'm kind of putting lines over each other. Actually, I kind of love this little sketch. Even though it's not very detailed, I find it interesting. I find it kind of gets the kind of gist without too much trouble. So I'm not going to ask you to look at this. I'm demonstrating it, right? To talk about this idea of gesture. There's more than one way to do gesture. You can do more squiggly lines, right? You can do this, right? You can, that's also gesture. That also kind of works. there's a lot of ways to do this, but like when you're trying to do this, so go ahead. I'm assuming you've been doing this along with me. Kind of finish up your drawing, and I'm going to call up our website, the one that we go to, line of action. And we're going to go to figure drawings. So I'm going to share this with you. Share, here we are. I love this website. This is a great practice tutorial for artists. It's really designed, I think, for people who, animate, who work as animations. We want nude models. We want nude models because we need to see what's underneath the clothes to be able to draw how the clothes fit over, right? We want all genders. We want adults. And these are each going to be 60 seconds. So we are going to do 10 of these. If you've got I would get the little boxes that show all of us out of the way. And you can fit more than one on here. I'll try to draw along with you. So you guys tell me, and in fact, I'm going to just pop this down for a second. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go. You ready to go? And don't worry. Don't worry, just do the best you can. Don't panic, right? This is about warming up. It's not really about being perfect. It's not about, you saw, these are very kind of silly in a way, kind of silly drawings, in a way, kind of elegant because they're so simple. So are we ready? Let's do it. We're doing it. Okay, so make sure you can see the whole screen. We're going to get drawing. Watch, it's gonna, oh, yes. Don't worry about the rock, just get the figure. And you don't have time to print this out. That's not what this is about. This is about starting to train. Wow, what a beautiful pose. One of the things that's kind of nice about these poses is that it would be very hard for her to hold that pose in real life. It would be extremely hard for her to do it. So it's kind of neat. In a photo, of course, she can. Mine's just totally running into the next one. That's okay. By the way, generally no time for boobs. Sometimes you do, but most of the time you don't. It's a big disappointment for people. Everybody's kind of obsessed with boobs. It's seems to be masculine, male, female, straight, gay. Everybody seems to be obsessed with the boob. I think that's because that's where we ate. So it is the genesis. And I just realized that I need to print another copy of this. So I'm going to do that really quick. So you don't really have time to fart around. How can you essentialize? How can you get this figure in 1 minute? The essence of this figure in 1 minute. Oh, shoot. Did I ruin that? Can you guys still see?
I can see it.
Okay, great. Okay.
Now we're blocked, Leah.
Okay, let me stop the share for a second. I really need to print this again, so I'm going to do that really quickly. I knew that was going to happen. I'm sorry, take a break. A quick break. I'm going to print this out. All right, there we go. Great. That is going to start. And then I'm going to go back to Pixel. Okay. I'm going to come back to sharing here. Sorry about that. I knew that was going to happen after I did it. All right, this one has about, go away, there we go. This has about 10 seconds left, so just wait for the next pose. Although that's a nice one. 7, you can see the little count. If you move your little square around, you can see the little counter. All right, go.
Um,
It's amazing how 60 seconds can be so short and so long at the same time, right? I'm interesting. Very easy to focus on what you don't know. Try not to go there. And the nice thing about figure drawing is no one really thinks they're too good at it. Not even people who teach it. Definitely not one of those things you can be too good at. There we go. This one we all should be able to get. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about. Wow, this is just a wonderful pose. Oh yeah, this dude. So these are interesting poses because they're kind of trying to, he's obviously lying on the ground. They're sort of trying to create tension in the pose as if he was jumping. But it doesn't look quite like jumping, does it? It has this definite. My favorite, Betsy. I love this lady. I think she's adorable. She's probably my age. She's probably younger than me, but I like to think she's my age. when I first started teaching this class. She was probably closer to my age. You're going to find yourself asking the question, what do I draw first? What do I not draw? Hopefully you're a little bit over that now. The Betsy pose. Oh yeah. Don't worry about the balloons. This is absurd. Just draw the figure. This is a nice one. And is this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 9. This is 9. So we'll have one more after this. Your friend would be really happy for your gestures because they help keep you in track. Okay, last one. Oh. All right. We all in class? That gets you into class. I'm going to remove the spotlight for a second. I want you to look at your drawings. I'm not going to ask to see everyone. Very often one doesn't. This is really a warm-up. But I want you to look at your drawing and see if there's any of your drawings or any piece of a drawing that you like, and hold it up. I liked this one. Let's see, Melissa.
I
just
can't.
had
A bunch of randoms. I don't know if you can see it. It's just scribble. Oh wait, can you see it? There's this one. Going here.
Down a little bit. Down. There you go. Oh, yeah. You got that one. Very nice. Emma, let's see yours. Hold up the, oh, you did on Procreate. Oh, she's showing off. No, I'm just kidding. Fabulous. Oh, I like those too. Those are fun. Yeah, quite fun. Mariana, show me one.
I'm still looking for one.
Okay, Billy, show me one that you like. Don't get too up your own head about these. Yeah. I like the one next to it too.
Which one? That one?
No, next to it. Yeah, that, I think you got that. You know, even if you can't finish it, you still the whole idea.
The other one I liked was this one.
Yeah, very nice. Sweet. Very good. Mariana, we're not waiting any longer. Just hold something up.
I made it disorganized.
You're playing with it. This is not that type of exercise.
No, it's okay. I just made it disorganized in my notebook. Show me.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. Very nice. So remember, these are not to be proper drawings. They're not about, it's not about drawing an actual, it's about more about capturing, it's about training your eye to look and see how the movement of the figure is happening and how kind of quickly you can scribble down and record it. It's also about simplifying. It's also about seeing relations. How does the arm relate to the leg, relate to the right, which you need to get those pretty quickly. So I wanted to demonstrate, before we get into this subject, I wanted to demonstrate one or two things that I think will be helpful. How many of you felt like you do not know what to do when you see a head turned sideways or a head turned at all, right? Yes. So let me show you a simplified way of doing this. And I'd like you guys to practice by filling a page with these shapes. So if the head is kind of facing towards you, it's like an egg shape, right? A little bit wider at the top, a little bit narrower at the bottom. It's definitely not this, right? We know it's not. That is not what that's not the shape of a face. However, when the head is turned to the side, you can do a pretty quick construction. This is the top of the head. Here is the side of the face, nose down to the chin, jawline up to the ear. You see that? It's like a circle, and the ear is at the edge of the circle, and the jawline comes up before that, and the neck comes in there. So when you're going to the side, it's a little bit more like this. And then you can kind of add hair if you want to, or anything else. So I'd like to see you practice a few of these shapes. So what's really happening is, and those of you who took face drawing know this pretty intimately, right? The back of the skull extends beyond where the ear is. It actually extends beyond here. We don't see it often because the hair sort of hides it, right? The hair. So normally there's hair over this. You don't see that. The back of the skull just, extends a little bit behind. So if you're trying to get this shape, this is the widest, you don't go any wider than this. And you pull the jaw in a little bit before the edge of this shape. So try a few. It's simple, right? This is the simple version. We're not getting fancy. This is not face drawing right now. Try one growing in one direction, one with the head down, maybe bent all the way. Try that. Try a few. You can also practice a few frontal faces. While you're doing that, now I think I can print this sucker. Let's see. Print. I want to print another copy of this. You guys can see it. Yeah. Come on. You know you can print it out. Don't be trouble. Now my printer chooses to be difficult. Are you really going to do this to me, buds? Gesundheit.
Thank you.
So is that helpful, by the way? I'm having a little bit of a simplified, how do you structure the head in a simplified form? I'll keep reminding you. I try not to put too much information into every session because I feel like your head might explode. I don't want any exploding heads here. No exploding heads. Let's see, we're still here. Need more. Come on. Iron sheet printing. Well, it's possible. It's possible that my printer has chosen to be difficult. Will not get another printout tonight. So you may have to look at the picture. I'll be able to put it up anyway. So we can. Okay, how'd that go? Everybody get a little something out of that, a little bit of practice at doing that? It's okay if you don't get it right at the beginning too. It's really okay. It's not like, you know, this is like super easy. I'm just trying to give you sort of simple shape tips. So when we are, let me come back up here. So remember, for example, so this is an interesting figure because this guy is not standing, he's sitting. So the first thing we're going to be looking at, right, as we start to measure is what? What are we going to measure? Figure out how to get the size of him. Anybody remember? What do we do?
Size of the head?
Yeah, the top and the bottom of the head. Excellent. So, right, so here's the top, here's the bottom. And how many heads down is he? Anybody tell? So I've marked, I know it's a little hard to see here. Mariana, can you see this? Is that easier to see?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
He's 5 heads, maybe?
5. What do you mean, maybe?
From where?
It's like 4.5.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
I would think between 4 and
Okay.
5, but I picked 5.
Yeah.
That's why I said maybe. I was like, "Ugh."
Did you guess or did you actually try to hold your arm out and measure?
I
So
was visually trying to do this, but yeah.
yeah. Okay. So so let's get back and let me talk about that for a second. So one of the things I want to demonstrate for you is that you, of course, can't, I mean, I can come here and mark it down. You don't have that printout, right? You can't see. You have to look at what I'm showing you on the computer screen. So one of the ways to do that, you ever seen anybody do this? Hold their arm out straight,
Mhm.
pencil and measure. What they're doing is, it's so hard to show. I'm laying flat right now, so I can't really, my paper is going to show, but I'm holding my arm out straight. 2, 3, 4. See how I'm holding I'm not touching the image. If I touch it, I don't do as good a job, right? Like as good a job, but I'm holding my arm out straight at the computer screen. I have my top of my pencil at the top of the head. I have my thumb where the chin is. And then I'm going down with a straight arm to see how many heads are down. So you can practice that more. Does that make sense? Or is that like, does it make sense to people? I'm not in a position to really show you what it looks like tonight, but I can be in future. 1, 2, 3.
Less than 4.
What? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, a little bit more than 4. It's down here. Right?
Mhm.
And not just 4. We can also see that if I draw the line straight down, sort of from the middle of his face, this is what we call a plumb line. A plumb line. So this will show us where to kind of put this part of the body and this part of the body. What do I mean by that? I mean, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the size of the head. I'm deciding randomly the size of the head based on how many I think can fit. And then I'm coming down here and I'm marking. I'm checking 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a little bit, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a little bit lower than 4. So here is whoops, you can see it here. Here is the top and the bottom of the figure. And then I can draw this line straight down through the middle of his face. to see what's on this side of the line and what part of the body is on this side of the line. That's what a plumb line is. So when you're trying to get one, does that make sense?
Mhm.
We're gonna look straight, what's down under him to decide where is this part of the figure and where is the other part of the figure. I'm gonna try once again to print out, but I'm gonna do that right now. I know I've kind of mucked up this drawing with all my gesture. But for now, I want you to try and sketch out this for, I think I made my, oh, this is way too long. I'm checking my heads. Yep, or like here. 1, 2, 3. See how I made that mistake? 4. I didn't, I sort of made my heads a little bit longer as I went down. I'm bringing them up. Oh, there we go. Maybe it's starting. I don't know. Here we go. You also have a picture of this guy that I sent on the thread. We're going to start with this, and then we're going to use an envelope technique that we talked about last week. Let's start with this. 3, 4, a little bit more than 4. This is the very bottom of my figure. Nothing goes really lower than here. You're not going to print for me? Really? I'm really not going to do that? Computer, you're pissing me off. I just. Oh, maybe now you're going to do it? Once you've got it, go ahead and send that. I'm sorry, here. Once you've got it, go ahead and send it over to me on WhatsApp so I can take a look at it. I'm going to check. I'm going to double check this. Yep. Forehead's down. It's actually okay that we can't see so much of the figure right now, because much of what we're doing right now is structural. And hopefully I can get this figure printed before the end. But for now, it's good you can't see the details. I don't want you looking at the details. Let's see. Okay. on, Billy. I'm pulling these up. Okay. Billy, you're going, you're not ready for that yet.
Okay.
You're not ready. You don't know how wide things are. Watch me. I want you to watch me. We're gonna do, Melissa, I cannot see your photo. I don't know
Oh,
why.
let me do another one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just can't see it. Yeah, erase the head. Don't do any of that yet. You're not ready. Here's why. We're gonna start next. And here I'm gonna spotlight this. And I know it's tedious. I know. Here we are. We're going to use the envelope to do a shape on each side of this plumb line.
So all you want is the line and the plumb lines? That's all you want?
That's all I want, because you're not ready for anything else yet. I swear to God. You're not
No, you don't know. No, just kidding.
right. And you'll notice, you'll be like, shit, I totally put everything in the wrong places. I could already tell you were scrunching everything up too much. That wasn't working, right? So now we're going to do a second set of measurements using the head. I'm going to take the head to see how many heads I go this way to create this triangle. It's about like 1 2/3 heads. So I'm going to come here, measure my head, and then from this point, here is where his hand will go. But not only will his hand go here, if you'll notice the shape, it's kind of at a slant. It kind of goes a little bit up. So do you see what I just did there? 1, almost 2. 1, 2. Yeah, actually, goes a little bit further. You see why his hand slants up? Is why this angle slabs up? Because his hand is not lined up with the bottom of him. It's slightly up higher. So I can see 1 head, almost 2 heads. So I'm drawing this triangle shape. Whoops. Where this part of the figure is going to be contained. My envelope shape. So now you see why you guys don't want to draw that. We want to get these containers first. And we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to measure 1, 2, 3 heads this direction. So now I need to make sure that I go 3 heads. 1. Is that right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 3 heads. And I'm going to sketch it. It's kind of like a triangle. It goes out to here and then down. See, it's like a little tent. Is that right? No, it's not so dramatic. It's really more like a no, it's really more like, is that right? Hold on. I can solve this. Let's see. This goes out, then kind of slightly bends down like a very, but it doesn't look right. It's really more that. Know what I can do? This seems very silly, right? But it's not. I swear to God, it is not. It's important. I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw a line from where the elbow is to here. And I can see that that line comes right above here. From here. And it goes over to here. And now I can check how many heads wide that is. One, little less than two. The one, yep, it's about here. So see how I'm using relationships I've already established to create this kind of tent. It's the envelope of the figure. And I'm using these things that are already here to guide me. Really, I'm using these simplified shapes to be able to get things in all the right places. And this plumb line, which goes through the middle of his face, like what's underneath it and what's over here versus what's over here, very different. And now I'm a little bit more ready. Sketch the shape of his face. I'm not going to get too into the details. Right? And his neck sinks down. And then I can bring in these gesture lines because now I know where they go. Let's see. I'm going to do this in a way that's really visible. The gesture here, here, here. Can you see that these white lines are the gesture lines? I think they might be easier to see. Mariana, can you tell me if they're not? So the yellow lines are the heads. So I can see here, if I come under here, there's a gesture line that way. And I can see here that there's another gesture line that goes that way. And I can see that this gesture line kind of starts here at the plumb line and then kind of curves to the left between head and two. Wait. Sometimes it's easy to get lost. Kind of. Yeah, that's about right. And then I can see that this is over here on this side, right where his hips are. This is here, and it comes down. I can see that this comes like this. I know his elbow is here. You know, this comes down. You can see that this gesture line comes down like this over. So you see, he's much sort of, even though he's kind of a short, stocky dude, he's lighter than you think. So this is how we construct. And this is how we incorporate gesture. Look at that, right? 1, 2, 3. So slightly more than 3. You can bring it a little. And then once I've got the gesture in, I can get those circles in kind of lightly. I can see where his elbow is. And I can see where his wrist is. In fact, I can even see kind of where his wrist lines up. The heads, it kind of lines up about here. Notice his hand takes up a lot of space. Notice I'm really doing flipper hands. No, we're just kind of blocking the hand out. We're not really doing too much with it. Maybe now I can start to fill in. And I get things pretty much. Also, flippers for feet. Don't get too into that. So Billy, can you see why I said don't do that yet? Because we're getting our outer parameters. And it's funny because this really does look a little like a tint. Those gesture lines. I'm having. There is, what color should I use for this? I may use this kind of green pencil to show you. It's a little hard to see. You guys may need to at some point go to your, I can't seem to get another image printed out. So I may have you move, as we're starting to get into more detail, I may have you move to the print, to what I emailed you, to what I sent across the thread, just because I just cannot seem to get. Sorry, unfortunately, I can't seem to get this. Print it again. The only thing I've somehow found to work is if I were to turn my computer off and turn it back on. So I might do that. I'll leave the meeting for a minute. I think you guys should still be able to. Well, the whole thing might shut down. I'm going to have to shut down my computer and restart. Let's see what happens if I do that while you're all working. It's possible you'll still have the meeting going. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to put the host. I'm going to make Emma the host for a moment, and then you'll turn me back. Yes, that'd be fabulous. All right, I'm going to leave for a minute and come back. Let me see if I can get a reprint out that way. Thanks, Emma. Best one ever. Hey, awesome. It worked. I have another one. Sorry, I'm blocked. So I've got another one here, which I'll place in just a minute. Once I feel you guys have got these kind of outer shapes. So go ahead and take a picture if you want to, when you feel like you've got, you'll see, I don't have very much going here yet because it's hard to see the edges. Kind of working on the edges I can see. Just the outer edges of this guy. He's very muscly. And it comes here. It's a little even trickier. It's really even tricky to see this. So let's see, maybe the leg on this side. Oh, foot is like totally too small. Feet are huge. What is the size? Almost the size of his head. Almost the size of the whole head. There we go. A lot of the times with this figure, the thing you're going to feel like things feel wrong. Right? Like legs feel too long. And that's because of his particular position, sitting down. You can see certain things, you can't see other things. Right now, the hand is like kind of totally blocking this whole part of the leg, so it's very hard to see it. So that's okay. Like that's actually, draw what you can see. Don't worry about what you can't see. And I'm going to give you a new copy to look at with new edges very soon. I can see here are my heads. 1, 2, 3. Yep. That the knee is right at this head. And it's big because it's coming towards me. So the knee joint for this leg, pretty big. It's like, might even be bigger than that. We'll start with that though. I can see that the fingers come down. Is that true? Are you that long? 1. Yes, you are. Hand is as big as the head. When you look at everything, like this shape and then the finger shapes. That may be all you can kind of see. Before we move to the next section. So what I really want to see, guys, is 3 heads this way, 2 heads this way for width. Like a little less than 2 heads this way here. And then your gesture lines. If I can see all that, then I think we can move. Do something we can see more of the body. Don't worry about this area yet. Don't worry about the torso yet. Don't worry about this arm really, because we can't see it very well. Don't worry about that yet. Don't worry about the areas that you can see over here, down here. Head, neck. How's everybody's day?
It's been good.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little busy, but good.
a little busy. I can see that. Hey, this is still spotlighted, right? You can still see, y'all can still see it? Great. So, hey, Emma, can you make me host again? Can you turn and make me host?
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot.
Thank you. Oh, that's okay. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here so I can.
Do you want me to make your camera on the drawing or you host?
Me.
Okay.
So little me up here where you can see my face. Oh,
Got it.
thank you. Okay, great. Okay, so everything's still spotlighted. I realized I couldn't tell once I was no longer the host, I couldn't tell that spotlighting was happening. Like, oh my God. A busy day, Emma? A busy day?
Yeah, I had classes all day and
Hmm.
yeah.
How's painting?
Good. I really like my new teacher. She's really nice.
Yay.
Yeah, she like met with all of us and kind of talked us through or had us talk about like what we liked to do and where we wanted to go. And I haven't had a teacher do that yet. So it was really nice to like have her know that and come up with ideas together. So yeah,
That is great.
I'm pretty excited about it.
By the way, one of the things I'm noticing when I look closely is that there's not that much. Now I can muck up this whole thing. I'm going to take it off in a minute. Is that the neck doesn't rise very much. If you look at this shape here, the shoulder really comes up into the neck. Remember that issue you were having with the drawing last time, Emma? Right, where the neck rose up too high? So
Yeah.
it's the same thing that's happening here. You'll see more when so I was noticing that I had my shoulder down too low. I'll show you. It was here. And I had the neck rising, like I had this happening, and I had the neck rising up, but that's not what's happening. Shoulder is like coming up to here. The neck is kind of sinks in to the collarbone, which feels weird. We feel like the neck should be kind of rising above the shoulders, but it really doesn't most of the time. In most positions, it comes in. So see the shoulder is up here. If I'm creating this shape, there's only kind of a tiny bit of neck. And then I'm like, So that's an adjustment that's kind of important. I'm assuming something similar is happening on the other side. That brings my shoulder up a little higher. I don't know if you noticed in the figures that we were drawing, but really only Betsy had this very sort of elegant neck that rose, and her poses, she kind of, she stretched her all spotlight. Oops. What happened? There we go. Okay. Sorry. Here, I'll show you. She was posing. Look at me for a second. She was like posing straight up with her neck rising up, right away from her shoulders. But most people, the neck kind of sinks in a little bit. So the shoulders come up above the base of the neck. She was like making this point of standing up like that, but most people were not. And this guy is not. And even I'm not really. See if I'm like kind of hunching my shoulders a little bit, my shoulders come up past. My neck comes down into. And when you look at like individual body parts, they really look weird. They definitely do not look like what we think of them as. Or like if you see me leaning forward, which is a very normal way for me to lean into the camera. Absolutely, my neck comes down below the shoulder, the top of the shoulder, and the top of the shoulder comes in. Here's where the top of the shoulder meets my neck, and my neck comes down. So most of the time, that's what's happening. That's definitely what's happening here. So we're gonna move away from this for a second. I'm gonna put this guy up so that we can see some of the pieces that we've got missing. I'm gonna draw on it again because I managed to print out 3 actually. So now I'm gonna be focusing on the stuff that you can't see because the printout isn't very good. So these are the sort of outer shapes. There's this shape. These are the shapes that are a little bit hard to see. So I'm going to sketch them from the outside. Look at all of these negative space opportunities, like this one here. This is really just simply a triangle. So if I come over here and I look at my drawing, I'm like my triangle isn't really very wide here. If I were to kind of try to recreate the shape of this triangle, it's a little bit more, well, it's a little bit wider here. Right? So maybe this brings the leg over a little bit. I know it looks ridiculous, but I start using negative space to shape things. There's something here. There's a triangle here. Way, it almost makes more sense to try and sketch the negative space of the triangle. There's also kind of a triangle here, a little bit more. And I can even see starts a little bit if I measure my heads. You can even see it starts a little bit below, let's see, 1, 2. Might be easier for me. I will draw the plumb line because I do want you to see that. So see what's on this side of the line? See, as I sketch that, how I can start to kind of shape the figure. It's weird, isn't it? Almost with no internal lines. Flippers for hands. If you want, I can even mark. I know I'm marking it up again, but I have a third copy. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can kind of see where this goes in relation to that, right? This comes right below the second head. This comes right above it. I can even check things like how wide is this from the center line here and from here, right? Is it one full head? It is not. So I can check and see how wide have I made it. Come over here. A little too wide. It needs to come in a little bit more. This is definitely one of those figures where it almost helps not to know what you're sketching. It's fascinating, isn't it? Like this figure is shaped as much by this shape, that shape, even this shape. If he wants to, take a look. There's more, right? There's that shape. There's this shape. Let's see, how well do I have? Having trouble. Yeah, that should be going like that. This should be like 1.5 heads. Yep. And then I can start sketching in, right? These shapes. I'm starting to erase some of my gestures, so they're getting in the way a little bit. Buddy. How's it going, everybody? Are you feeling lost? Is it a moment to stop and send it over so I can take a look at it? Oh, I see you have it. Why am I not seeing WhatsApp here? Hold on, let me call it up. I just updated my computer and now all kinds of things that used to happen are not happening anymore. Let's see. Okay, great. Sorry, you guys. I did not see that these messages were coming in. Good, Billy. 1, 2, let's see. So Billy, it's you've shortened a little bit here. This is excellent. Excellent. Really, really good work. You've shortened a little bit here. If you check your head measurement, you'll see that this one is longer than this one. So make these 3 equally long and then extend a little bit longer and you'll have room for the foot. But great. Okay, Mariana, okay, so there's your plumb line. Hold on, I'm gonna look at this. Good job for you guys are all using the envelope. This is actually fabulous. This is a challenging figure. It is not easy. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Mariana, you are way too short on this side. If you measure, really look at this. This is a little bit more than 3 heads across. come here, I'll show you. 1 here. And that's really where the end of that part of the thigh is that comes short, that upper thigh. 1. 1. 2. But these are fabulous, you guys, like better. So extend this out. And Mariana, this is the shape, right, that you want between the toe and here. Also, you have, Mariana, you have the hand coming down. The hand is too low. And not far enough to the right. I don't think, let me see, 1. But yeah, it's really 2 heads. If you check, you'll see from here. Here's head 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. It's really 2 heads from the outside of the hand. Look at where you are like 1. This is 1. So you're not going far enough this way or this way. That's why you're having trouble to get this. That's why you can't get this shape here, because your arm is way too narrow in. Good work, you guys. So really good work. I want to say good work. Melissa, let's see. 1, 2, Melissa, you did the same thing, right? So somehow the heads on so these are heads on their sides. So everybody come back and measure this side. 1, 2, 3. And you'll see, still very good, even though. And Melissa, great, since you haven't been back for a while. Excellent work. Jumping right back in, eh?
This one's really complicated.
It's complicated, and it kind of forces you to use the measurements, right?
Oh,
If
you
you
have to use
you
them.
just can't get it.
Yeah.
You just can't, it's impossible. You'll never get it if you can't like use those. If you can't like use, and that's why I like it, because of the negative space. Also, I just think he's pretty, I love the look of this guy. I don't know why. I love this pose. It's a really like sort of classically elegant pose to me. I'm still toying around with exactly where these are and where this is. But great work, you guys. Really, you are good direction followers. Like very good at directions. I am impressed. Oh, what I do see is I made my, no, it's good. That's right. It's like this. Yep, that angle slightly up. Let's see, Emma. Why am I not seeing Emma's? Hold on. Hang on, Emma. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is not bad, Emma. Not bad at all. The only thing I feel like, okay, I'm just double checking a few things. You can see Emma's already gotten into some of the shading. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a little bit flatter. Okay, this is such a nitpicky thing, Emma, but I'm going to say it because your foot is coming up a little bit too angled high. It's doing a little bit. Oh, whoops. Did my phone just quit? Here, hold on.
Did, but I think I saw
You
before
see
it
what I'm
quit.
talking about here, hold on. I'm gonna, it goes off every like 10 minutes. So I have to like, oh, or did you just go up? Oh, I apologize. I have 0 battery. I'm like, hold on, I'll plug it in. But did you see what did you see what I was talking about?
Yeah, I totally saw it. That
Slant
angle
it up
was
and
too
it's
high.
flatter than you think it is, which will give him that kind of slight stockiness. So you're making him look more slender than he is.
Okay.
My point, he's got a stockiness, and it's because this here, hold on. Let me plug my phone in so I can get you a screen very soon. In the meantime, please use the WhatsApp. Please use the picture I sent on the WhatsApp thread. Heavens. And let me see if I can come up here on Zoom and show you something. Yeah, that totally, here, like this. I'm going to spotlight myself. So you have him angling up.
Oh, yeah.
And you're doing the same thing with this foot, which makes him look narrower than he really is.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
So
weird
when you're
perspective
trying, I
of
mean,
it.
listen, I'm not, you guys are doing great. I can just hold this until I get my phone back up again. I'm massively impressed with actually how everybody is doing on this pose. This is a tough one. Here, I'm going to turn my phone on. It's plugged in now. So maybe I can show it, right?
Mm-hmm.
See that?
I
That-
do, yeah.
And he has this like, and there's a stockiness to him. He's a little thick in places that you wouldn't think, right?
Mhm.
He's not, if he stood up, when you see him in standing poses, this is from one of the pics, line of action figures. He's one of my favorites, so I took a picture of it. When he stands, he's short. He's short. He's kind of short and a little bit stocky, but very physically fit. So slender, but not like skinny. And he's
Yeah.
wide across, wait, here too. Right?
Mhm.
So
I'll try to shift those around.
shift those around. I'm sorry, guys. I will get the screen back up soon. Sorry, here I'm holding this up. Holding it up. There you go. So you can see it well. Really, you're choosing now to optimize my apps? My God. Here we go. All right, now I have to like get my phone back in line. So I will do that. Okay, Zoom. Come on. Listen to y'all, not a peep out of you, even when you lost your source. I love it. Not a peep. Okay, here we are. Okay, here I am. Okay, let's see if I can. I know there's a lot going on here. Give me a sec. There we go. Here we got this. Here is that. Also, this is much shorter It's really like a head, maybe 1.5 heads. I'm going to double check mine actually now because it doesn't quite look right. Oh. Let me spotlight you. There we go. Okay. I'm finding it like it would be helpful to draw a line kind of across here. Where the second head is. So I can, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Yep. I'm going to do the same thing here. Drawing, okay, so this is where his armpit really is. So look at what's kind of above this. See how I'm continually, oh yeah, there we go. There's that happening. This is coming straight down. That feels armpit and the resulting shadows kind of start right here. Yeah, I think the thing about this one is it's so weird. You kind of have to look at the shape. You just really, there's no way to really know what's going on. See how I'm starting to use my shadows? Also getting rid of some of my gesture lines because they're becoming less helpful. It's interesting lighting. That helps a lot. Oh, sorry. There we are. Starting to get some of those shadows in. There it kind of comes in. Such interesting shadows. I'm kind of reshaping this triangle quite a lot. Oh, we should do that. Do that. There we go. Continuing to, no, don't do that. There we go. There we go. By the way, this tool is by far the best thing that ever happened to me as a drawer. $10 on Amazon. Derwent electric eraser. It's got battery operated. It's fantastic. I used to scoff at such things. I'm not really a drawer in my heart. I mean, I like to draw a lot, but I draw to paint. And then like somebody sent me this thing, and one of my students sent this to me just to prove me that I was wrong. And I have now 5 of them. It's an absolutely fantastic piece of equipment. Now I'm going to try and fix. Sort of. No, it's terrible. I'm finding this foot very annoying, so if you do too, don't worry, just don't bother too much with it. It's annoying. A little bit better. We're gonna get to a point where we deal with feet and hands. That is a later issue. Today it's about the plumb line. And it's also about using negative space and the envelope to kind of figure out where you are. So I'm going to use my electric eraser to kind of erase this a little bit. And just like that, we've got like 15 minutes left in class. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Crazy. Yeah, good. Good, Billy. I want you to forget about any difficult day. I want you to forget your time. I want you to forget time, because that means you're kind of going into a meditative zone.
Yeah.
People say that, like, to meditate, you think of nothing, you empty your mind. But I think, and one of my students described this once to me, and I think she was absolutely right. I think you fill your mind with one thing and you become completely absorbed in doing it. And that is meditation. Because yet what time it is, you stop thinking, right? You're just thinking about shapes and darks and lights. The task is so absorbing that it kind of calms your heartbeat. It brings your blood pressure down. It focuses you. It sharpens your senses. as you're working. Like, oops. Put them on, I'm like, all right, Melissa, I will send you I'll send you I'll send my Venmo over to you.
Okay.
It's a totally valid way to do this. Or if you want to, you can buy a pass. If you want to buy a pass, then I'll just ticket an extra thing off the pass. You know what? Actually,
I can do the pass actually.
buy the pass, but you know what? I added one session to everybody who bought a pass. So consider this your free session back
Okay,
end.
then I'll just get a pass and then I can use it for next one.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah. For all of them going forward. And then that will include this one, which is your free extra class.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So you get an extra. So you get it. I gave everyone an extra class at the beginning of the year because I really wanted to thank everybody for buying the passes and, making this possible.
Leah,
Yeah.
you have 2 passes listed. I didn't understand what they were, so I just kind of chickened out and moved on.
Let me send you over. Yeah, there's the art pass, which is like 280.
Right. And
Yeah,
what was the, I didn't
you-
understand the difference.
What's that?
I didn't understand what the difference was.
One is for seniors and students.
Oh, seniors. Okay, that makes sense.
30. It's like students and seniors.
Got
You're not a senior, Billy. I hate to tell you.
That's okay. I'm okay not being a senior.
That'd be great. If you buy a pass too, Billy, then we will, again, if you can buy a pass, then you just log in and register and you can use that pass whenever. And if you forget to register, it's no big deal. You can just show up and then I can go in and tick it off, right? So it's easy for me to go in and fix the passes once you buy them. It's just a way for us to track them. You don't actually have to register for each class. If you want to, just buy the pass and then I'll tick it off. But this will be your free class for buying a pass. How's that?
I bought one session because I didn't know what it was.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so good. All right, then I'll add on it.
I'm already done.
I'll add on a pass. Why did I not see that?
I
Interesting.
did it about 4 o'clock.
You're so good. I'm
Well,
very happy to have you. I have to say, I scheduled this class later, very particularly for you, Montana, and you, Portland.
Oh, thank you.
In Portland. I know it's a little late for you, Mariana, and Houston, but I think it's okay, right? It's not
No,
the worst.
this is great for me. This is the best hour for me.
Really fantastic.
The
That's perfect.
Tuesday class is too late actually for me.
Right. Yeah, it is a little too late. Oh, Melissa,
perfect.
fabulous.
Really? I feel so bad. I'm so
No,
I feel
well,
okay.
it's still not long enough here, so I'm going to show you. So here, it's really quite good, but I'm going to show you a couple things.
okay.
If you look at look at how long he is. If you look at how long this guy is, right? You draw this line down the center of the face. Here's the face. He's really 1, 2, 3 heads wide. on the side. Not like this one, not like that, right? Like I'm taking the head and I'm going to the side and flipping it on its side. 1, 2, 3. If you measure yours around, you'll see there's a difference. It's shorter than that. Looks okay on this side, I think.
Let's see.
Yeah, no, it's a little shorter on both sides.
It's
And
supposed
this
to be 3 heads. 1,
3
2.
heads this way and 2
Yeah.
heads this way.
Okay, let me read.
You add those heads in, you will be able to put these things.
That's what's throwing it off.
Yeah, that's what was throwing it off. But that's an easy fix. So try and sketch those in and see, and then kind of fix these areas. I think you're going to feel, I mean, construction wise, it's still pretty great what you did. So, and the reason it's so weird is that he's sitting, parts of him are coming forward, parts of him are going back, right? This is a very wonky pose. None of the things that we think are happening are actually happening. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually happening in a visual 2-dimensional space is very different from what it seems like is happening. But it's good. These are good. Honestly, you guys, these are great. Work for another 5. Let's look for another 10 minutes. There's also a beginning drawing class on Monday nights at this time, taught by my friend Lotto. It's fantastic. There is watercolor painting on Tuesday at 1 hour later, as Mariana said, a little late for her, 6 p.m. West Coast time, 7 p.m. Montana. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, we have this great, number of classes. Emma, did I confirm with you, by the way, that you'll teach the Australia, Asia beginning drawing class?
Yes, isn't that the 3rd or something
Yes.
like that?
Third,
Yeah, and then the
the
10th.
3rd for you, the 4th for them, and the 10th.
Yeah, I
Okay,
we're
we'll talk
due-
about
I'm
it.
not sure what we're gonna do yet, but I will let you know.
That's okay. We can figure it. Well, we have time to figure that out. I just wanted to make sure you were doing it.
Yeah. No, I
Cool.
can totally do it.
Excellent. Billy, did you hear what a great job Anna did with the
I
tween
heard.
on
Yeah,
Sunday?
Addie told me she did great.
Oh my God. Well, what Addie probably didn't tell you is that here, hold on.